Hi, welcome to Art142 Online Intro to Digital Photography. I am your professor, Samantha Austin. You can call me Sam or Sammy or Samantha. I will respond to all of it. I will respond to all of this. Welcome to Art142 Online Intro to Digital Photography. I'm your professor, Samantha Austin. We're going to go over a few things in this introductory video so that you feel welcome and you get excited for your next course. So we are looking at the fundamentals of digital photography, which includes camera operations, exposure techniques, intro to digital output, and the theory of digital photography. So we're going to go over the syllabus, which we have, and this will be available to you. My email is samantha.austin@phoenixcollege.edu, and you can also contact me through Canvas Messenger. I do not have an office, so if you want to meet with me outside of class in person, we can make appointments. I'm generally available Wednesday evenings from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on campus. The communication policy and the best way to contact me is via Canvas Messenger within Canvas. So when you go into Canvas, you have a messenger in your inbox right there, and you can contact me through there. I prefer this because there is a Canvas app and I can message you directly. Email, sometimes things get lost, and I'm a little honest about that. So definitely Canvas Messenger is the best way. I will respond within 48 hours. Please give me this time to respond. Typically, the reply time will be sooner, but the longest you'll wait to receive a response will be 48 hours. When you message me on email, just make the subject title Art142-your name, and then you can put a appropriate subject title. Asking questions or communicating in the comment section of when you turn in an assignment or when you're responding to a grade is actually a poor way to contact me. I do not get these responses as easily. They're more difficult for me to navigate, and oftentimes these responses will go left unanswered. I tend to try to communicate as best as I can through this, but typically these will go unanswered. So if you are responding to, let's say you have a question about an assignment, ask an email or through Canvas Messenger. If you have a question about the grading policy, ask in an email or through Canvas Messenger. Also, it's really appropriate to have proper netiquette, which is sort of how you would respond. So introduce yourself or write a salutation. Identify who yourself. Kind of keep your message short and concise. Stay on topic. Use proper spelling and grammar. And definitely use a closer as well. If you have questions about proper netiquette, there is a link on Canvas, so you can kind of get some information on how to appropriately communicate with your professor. So what is required is a digital camera. If you do not have a digital camera, you need to drop this course, and I would do this as soon as possible. A phone camera does not count. So there is a recommended textbook. It is not real-world digital photography. It is actually adjusted to photography. And there will be a link to this and an update in your syllabus. I do apologize for my dog. He wants to be a part of the video as well. There will also be additional readings in PDFs or in videos as well. So for required materials and technologies, you need to have a digital camera, not a phone camera, with the following attributes. It needs to be 8 megapixels or higher. You need to have manual aperture and manual shutter controls. A digital SLR is preferred but is not required, and you need to have access to Canvas. So, what kind of digital camera do I get? Where do I get one? I just searched digital cameras on Amazon Prime. As you can see, there's several different options. So let's say I go with this first one. It has 18 megapixels, which is good. Let's kind of look at some other information. So this one's a point and shoot and not a digital single lens reflex. So I may kind of look through some details to try to see if I can figure out if it has manual controls. Alright, so I'm not seeing anything right now, but it doesn't mean it doesn't. So I may go let's see what Google says. Alright, so this kind of shows, in addition to giving you manual control, so this one's only $235. Gives you smooth manual control. So you may have to do some searching to see if it has what you need for your requirements. But if you're purchasing a brand new camera, you need to make sure that it has manual controls. Now, let's say you have a camera and you're not sure. So you can look at your camera's manual or Google camera manuals. Manuals online, I use this kind of often. And you can look up the manual for your camera. So I can look up for mine. So I can find the camera manual for it, and it comes in a PDF version, which is really cool. I'll post this link in Canvas for you. Additional recommended materials is a tripod if you have multiple lenses, access to a backup camera, so let's say your camera, you drop it, you need to have access to something to work with. We don't have cameras to loan out. Flash drives or backing up everything on a portable hard drive could be recommended. Studio lights or flash, we're not going to get into them too much. We're going to mention them. If you have reflectors, remote, some other sort of camera accessories could be good. Standard grading, 90 to 100%, it's an A, etc., etc. What I'm really looking for is your evaluation of participation in activities, presentations, demonstrations, critiques, discussion boards, making sure that you're applying what you're reading and viewing into your projects. So if you're not demonstrating what we're going through in class, you may find yourself not getting full points. You need to apply what we're learning. You need to apply the ideas presented to activities and class assignments, and also submitting things in the required format. You need to think of me as your client, your editor, and your audience. So you need to make sure that you give me what I ask for as per the specifications of the assignment. You need to be creative. So for an emotion, for movement, dropping markers or on the floor may not be the best example of movement because it's not such a creative idea. And I need to understand what you're communicating. So if you're making something a little off the wall, make sure I understand it. So think about, how does someone who's viewing it understand it? No double dipping. You cannot submit previously taken images for assignments. Everything must be unique to each class and each assignment, so you can't submit things you've taken for the scavenger hunt, for the portrait assignment, or you cannot use images you shot prior to this class. So you need to apply everything that you're learning into each new assignment. Your final grade is going to be composed of exercises, homework assignments, discussion boards, quizzes, photography projects, and your final grade on Canvas may not be your final grade in class. There'll be plenty of extra credit opportunities, so at the end of the semester, don't ask me for extra credit because it's all throughout the semester. There will be quizzes, and quizzes are only open during the weekly module, so make sure you have time to read and do the quiz during the time. There's a time limit and it's only open once, so make sure you're not just like viewing things and exiting out, or have a poor internet connection or a short time window, because you can't just do part of the quiz then return back to it. If you want to redo an assignment for a better grade, you can. You just have to send me an email not more than a week after receiving your grade with an outline of how you will improve your assignment. The new grade will cancel out the old one, and requests may not be granted. You're only allowed to redo one assignment throughout the course, and you'll only qualify to redo an assignment if you submit it correctly and on time. You can only submit work late within a 7-day window, and you have a 15% off final grade. After 7 days, I will not accept it. So you're going to have timelines if you want to be a creative, if you want to be a writer, if you want to be a photographer, a graphic designer, and your clients, your boss, your coworkers are not going to be cool with you submitting in late work. So think of this as practice for being a creative outside of education. So the following excuses will not be accepted. I'm not good at this. I didn't have time to shoot. My flash drive or my computer broke. My internet went out. You need to have a backup plan. We'll talk about assignment submission and format, but there's very specific assignment submissions with Google Drive. You will not be allowed to resubmit for a regrade for points on Google Drive. So you want to do the Google Drive demo and go through every step and check your work at the end. I also need all work to have readable EXIF data, which we'll talk about later. But this is sort of me seeing your camera settings by viewing your file. So we're going to explore digital photography. There'll be readings and video responses, discussion boards so you can build your community, demos, photography assignments. You need to apply technical and creative lessons. There's going to be quizzes. You're going to learn about contemporary photographers, sequencing, digital output, and ethics, in addition to manual operations, photo editing in Camera Raw and Adobe Lightroom. So you're responsible for understanding and adhering to the material presented in the syllabus, and you'll have a PDF copy. And we're just going to go over a few things. So we're going to skip a few things, but you need to understand and read them on your own. So this is a 3 credit hour per course. So you need to have 3 hours spent on course content or seat time, and then 6 hours addition to weekly. So this could be up to 9 hours per week. 3 hours of time on course content or class instruction, then the 6 hours on homework weekly. So keep that in mind when you're planning and handling your schedule. This is not an exit or open entry course, so you need to sign in and log in and academically participate at least once a week. So that could be doing a discussion board, submitting an assignment, interacting with me if you cannot participate that week, but something sort of for your academic progress. Just logging in and logging out and viewing a few things does not count for academic progress. So there may be some controversial course content, so keep that in mind. This is fine art course, so you may see things that will challenge your beliefs or may be offensive, but understand this is art and it's okay to not like it. But you have to explain why you don't like it. You want to be original. So let's say you see a cool photo shoot on Tumblr, Instagram, or Pinterest. You don't want to copy that photographer's work, but be inspired, and we'll talk more about how you can be unique, but be inspired by others. So additional content, we're going to use Canvas throughout the course, so you're going to check Canvas daily. I recommend getting the Canvas app so you can have Canvas on the go with you on your phone. We're going to do Adobe Photoshop CC, and for that Creative Cloud, Campus uses 2020, but an older version will work. However, I do want to say that the Adobe Creative Cloud will not work on Surface Pros, but I heard recently that they're going to be developing an app version for Adobe, so keep a lookout for that. You need to be able to process your footage. You may have to sign into other web-based applications like Google Drive, Adobe Cloud Services, etc. to complete assignments. And there may be some readings you may have to access for free on the internet, and you may need to access Canopy, which is free using your MEID. It is a documentary website. All right, there is a course calendar, which you'll have a copy of. The calendar is going to start on Monday. Even though we start on Saturday, you have a few extra time this first week. And assignments are going to be due on Tuesday. So you want to make this calendar may change, but the dates on Canvas are going to be the most accurate. So follow what's posted in Canvas, but this can be your guide. I suggest printing it out, putting this in your Google Calendar so it gives you updates of when you need to do assignments. Make note of the photography assignments so that you can plan when you're available to shoot. So you'll have time to look over this. There's be quizzes, discussion boards, assignments, exercises, all sorts of fun things to help you kind of learn more about digital photography. I also want to mention there's a thing called GIMP, which is sort of a free resource for open source image editing. This might be available to you if you want to try it out, so here's a link to it. We are using Adobe Photoshop and learning through Adobe Photoshop. There's also Darktable, which is a free resource comparable to Lightroom, but we are going to be learning and using Adobe Lightroom. Another thing is called Calibrize. So we want to make sure we're producing accurate colors. Just going to jump through this. So I have a data spider, a color spider. I'll pull it up on Amazon. And that one's fancier than the one I have mine. It's something like this. It's a little expensive, but it makes sure I have accurate colors on my monitor when I'm working. And you want to make sure the green that I see is the green that you see. So this Calibrize is a cool way to think about color management, and we'll talk about color management later, but how you can adjust color profiles so the green that I'm seeing is close to the green that you see, and our colors are matching. Additionally, there is a link for a cool artist website which will talk about how to find artists called LensScratch. I recommend looking through it and seeing what kind of cool art you can see in contemporary photography, and they have some great readings. We'll be using the Adobe Creative Cloud. There's a discount for students. So for $20 a month, you can have Creative Cloud all apps. That's Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. So if you're taking other courses here at Phoenix College, I highly recommend it. For $10 a month, you can get the just the photography package, which will be Photoshop and Lightroom and Adobe Bridge. Lastly, before you get started with the course, there is a first extra credit assignment. This is an art gallery in Gilbert, Arizona, and here you can submit your artwork, your original photography for a merge, and I highly recommend you do it. There's 10 extra credit points available. Best in Show gets a gift certificate to Tempe Camera, which is really cool. Additionally, there are other sort of prizes available. I highly recommend you submit, show your work, and maybe earn some money. So let's start off this class strong. I think it's going to be great. We have a lot to go over this first week. If you have any questions, do reach out. I'm always here for you. You can message me through Canvas or send me an email, not through the comments section. All right, so let's look forward to an awesome semester.